As I might have mentioned in the past, one of my favorite non-gun YouTube channels is Regular Car Reviews. And I like them so much that I even did a parody of them when I did my FN57 video about a year ago. I actually filmed it on Christmas, a year ago Christmas, but I think I released it in January at some point. But if you're interested, go check that out. But the reason I brought that up, to paraphrase them when they review something that isn't a car, not a gun. Anyway, welcome to my channel. I'm going to go outside my channel's parameters a little bit today and review my phone since there's not too many of these out in the wild here in the United States. I kind of decided to do my phone because a channel called The Real Colbert Burnout, he's been asking for EDC pocket dumps. Well, I've already did a video over my carry guns and carry setups, so I figured I would do something that's what everybody carries, and that's their phone. But anyway, when it comes to technology, I usually research to the point where I know just enough to be dangerous before buying something, and then I don't pay attention until I need to replace that item. My laptop, for instance, it's a Sony Vaio that I purchased in February of 2010, and it still works for me, but it's not long for this earth. And prior to that, I'd actually build my desktop computers, which last for about 5 years at a time. Now, I know, as I said, my laptop isn't long for this earth, and I'm going to have to study up because I really don't want a Mac or Windows 10, but that's off tangent. It seems that I can only get about 2.5 years out of my smartphones because they get to the point where they get too buggy and bogged down. I've always partially blamed that on the bloatware that came on the Galaxy phones that I had purchased from AT&T. Samsung would add their bloatware, and AT&T would add their bloatware. So a lot of times you would have, triple redundant software on there, and it just bogs the phone down, and you can't even get it off. Even when you think you delete it, it's still in the registry somewhere, kind of like on your Windows, I think. So when my Galaxy S5 became almost usable this summer, I wanted to find an Android phone that came without the bloatware. A coworker let several people know about these OnePlus phones and the current incarnation, the OnePlus 5. Since they're purchased directly from the company, there's very little bloatware, and the coworkers he already convinced to purchase these phones, they're all very happy with them. The specs on the OnePlus 5 blow the doors off the Galaxy S8, but before I pulled the trigger, I asked an in-law who is he's usually an early adapter when it comes to tech stuff. I mean, he owns a Tesla, and he lives in the hipsterville of Portland, Oregon. He said he'd definitely heard of them, but he hadn't seen any in the wild yet. So, since he was aware of them and had heard good things, I went ahead and decided to try it since I actually knew people who had them and liked them. And the OnePlus 5 is a couple $100 cheaper than the Galaxy S8. First thing after ordering it, I received a text from my credit card company asking if I made the purchase, since it was actually billed directly to China. And all I was wary, I said yes. I ended up having a foreign service charge on my credit card of $18. I received the phone about 3 days later, and I had to go to the AT&T store to get a nano SIM card to get it going since the SIM card in my S5 was too big. Now, I've had this phone for about 6 months, and here are my thoughts and observations. One downside of the phone right off the bat is there's no SD card slot, so I opted for the 128 gigabyte model. Since I'd have to physically make transfers between the phone and the computer, I also opted for 8 gigabytes of RAM. No SD card is a huge nuisance, as you have to jump through some hoops to connect it to your computer. The easiest way I found is to go to your file manager. Select the files that you want to move. So let's just say I want to move a video that I filmed over. So I select, you hold down on it, select that. Then you go up to go to File Dash, and what it will do is it'll create a wireless connection called FD02. So get on your computer like you're hooking up to a wireless, or getting ready to hook up to wireless internet, and choose that FD02. And then Open up your browser on your computer and type one.plus, and then the files will show up ready to download. And I just downloaded them and moved them to the file I want on my computer. Instead of getting an SD card slot, you get 2 SIM slots, which does nothing for me, as I have neither my own business or a mistress. This is really the only major downside of this phone. I have only 3 other smaller complaints before getting into the pluses. It isn't waterproof in any way. There's your earphones, your charger. There's no way for it's definitely not waterproof. And although the camera beats the pants off of any other phone in resolution, you only get 2 times zoom, which with the double camera, it has just as good a resolution as one time as it does 2 times. But I miss being able to zoom in 4 times from the old phone. And there aren't many accessories on the US market. The Otter box is really the only protective case that I could find for this. So, and as for now, there's no Mophie for it, which I always like getting a Mophie for my Galaxy S phones. And in case you don't know, a Mophie is a protective case and a backup battery. The pluses. This phone is fast. This phone is very fast. The hardware plus the lack of bloatware is awesome. I'm curious to see how it is in 2 or more years, as I hope not to replace this phone in 2.5 years like I always do the Galaxies. At home, I've been using this phone and the 4G more for internet than the computer and Wi-Fi due to the speed. Even uploading a video to YouTube is much faster. Sans my complaint about the zoom, the camera is awesome. The rear camera blows the doors off any previous phone I've ever had, with a 16 megapixel stills, and it can film up to 4K. The front camera is also 16 megapixels on stills and films at 1080p, which is the most that I need anyway. That's the most I can upload That's the most I can upload or download upload to YouTube, and my editing software, I believe, can't even handle that. This allows me to do more one-on-one type videos. I did quite a few back in November and December. The mic is very good, and I've actually started using this phone for my voiceovers over the mic that I bought for my computer, as it does a much better job. I believe I come across much clearer with less popping. The speaker is heads above any of the Galaxy phones. It has a normal headphone jack, to hell with whatever Apple comes out with, so I can use my regular headphones at the gym. One feature that I absolutely love on this phone is the front camera. The front camera is covered, which I'll try to demonstrate here real quick. When the front camera is covered and you try to bring the phone on, it'll say pocket mode is on. And which is awesome, because as somebody pointed out and noticed in one of my videos, I tend to pocket dial 911 a lot with this Galaxy S phone because it has that stupid emergency call button that you couldn't get rid of. So the pocket mode is an awesome, awesome feature. The battery lasts a very long time, even with heavy use, and I rarely have to charge it during the day. As I said earlier, previously I've had Mophies on my Galaxy phones because the batteries would hold no more than a 4-hour charge with heavy use. And if I do need to charge the phone, the dash charger will have it completely charged within 30 minutes. So, quick review: minuses, no SD card slot, not waterproof, only a 2x zoom on the camera, and very few accessories. Pluses: it is very fast, little to no bloatware, front and rear cameras blow the doors off most phones' rear cameras, mic and speakers, pocket mode, battery life, and quick charging. So if you're looking for a new phone and can deal with the lack of SD card, I would highly recommend the OnePlus 5. I've been very happy with it so far and hope that it'll last me longer than 2.5 years that I usually get out of the Galaxy phones. If you like what you see, please comment, like, subscribe, and check out my Facebook, Twitter, and who I support on Patreon, as well as be sure you check out and donate to CMAX. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.